What's going on, guys? Matt with MotoWorks here, and we are going to be taking the old engine and throwing it away, because I'll show you here in a few seconds, but basically I think this old engine was taken apart and they lost most of the bolts to it. That was my GoPro taking a dive. Whoopsie.
Can I hold it?
So I got my helper here today, if you heard. Dawson here today helping. All right, so what are we doing today, dude?
We're throwing that engine away.
Yeah, this engine is going to be going out of here. I mean, we'll steal some parts off of this one, but for the most part, yeah, this is going away.
Yeah, and that's a new engine. We're gonna put it in the smart car. That's a new engine.
Yep, that's the new engine. It's going to be going in the smart car. So what we have to do today, what you're going to focus on, bud, is we're going to be getting this transmission here off of this engine. So I think we might be using the engine crane right there just to lift this thing up and get the transmission off, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So yep, I'm going to set that other camera up, and we're going to get this transmission off here. All right, you're doing good, Dawson. Only smashed our fingers one time, so that's not too bad. And we're doing the go-no process. If he can't get the bolt loose, I come over, crack it loose, and then he spins them the rest of the way out. Does that seem to be working good for you? Yep, that seems to be a good game plan and good strategy so far. So what I'm going to be doing while he is taking the transmission bolts out, I'm going to actually be putting, like I said in the last video, see if I can find the box here. I got a new clutch for this thing. So right in here, nice new tiny little clutch. So I'm going to be installing this onto the other engine while Dawson is installing or removing the transmission, and let's see who gets done first. Actually, I might not be, honestly. I gotta wait till he takes transmission off now to think of it, because I don't have any bolts to mount my clutch. So, bolts I need are gonna be inside here. So, looks like I'm helping you, dude. Is that okay? All right, I'll give you a hand. Yes, I got some. There's definitely some antifreeze in there, dude. That's not good.
Dad, I hope that engine is gonna last longer.
This engine should last longer. I think I figured out the problem,
Dad,
too, bud.
Where's your camera? Where's your other camera?
Over here. I think I found the problem, too. So looking in here, I think this engine was definitely out before. There are definitely telltale signs that this was out. And I believe they dropped probably this frame here to get the engine out. And the reason I say that is because when they put it back in, if you look at this, this is the hose that comes off the back of the water pump there. You can actually see it's pinched between the body of the car and these AC lines here. So I'm thinking that that was part of the overheating problem in the first place. They pinched that line, didn't realize it, because you literally cannot see anything when this thing is back in here. So you would almost have to get a bore scope or something to look up here and make sure that stuff's not pinched. So I think that these AC lines are not in the right place. I'm not 100% sure. They might have to be over, you know, just a little bit further. But yeah, that line was pinched, and maybe that just caused it to overheat, busted the head gasket, and that's why I have a liquid cooled exhaust manifold right now. But yeah, like I said in the last video, once I get everything swapped over on that engine, I'm actually going to take this out, probably scrub it down a little bit, put some nice paint on there. This thing's pretty rusty, so we're going to clean that up. But I think I found the culprit as to why it was giving me so many issues. How's it going, dude? You got a couple bolts out there. Look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sweet. Keep it up. We'll have this thing done in no time. All right, dude, how many bolts did we take out?
9.
We got 9 bolts, that's right. All righty, now we're gonna be getting ready to take transmission off of the engine. So we just gotta pry it apart. I think it's ready to come apart. Just watch out there, dude. Slide back just a little bit. There we go. I think it's ready to come off. Might even be able to just pull it off. I think this thing was recently taken apart. Everything, all the bolts came out pretty easy, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so.
Some were made with, some you can do with hands.
Yeah, some of them were only hand tight. You're right. Yeah, some of them were definitely hand tight, bud. Oh, here we go. All right, show them. We're about to take it apart. Wow! Don't care about this engine anymore, do we?
No.
All we care about is transmission not getting damaged. And it looks like we did a good job not damaging our transmission. Don't hold it upside down, bud.
Why?
That was silly. That was silly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so.
Why didn't you hold it upside down?
Because it won't make the correction, I don't think. We'll find out in editing, all right? We'll see in editing if it makes that correction, but I don't think it does. I think it'll just show me upside down.
Mm-hmm.
But transmission is off, dude. Isn't that awesome? Fist pound here. Bring it in. You did a good job taking those bolts out. That's what the transmission looks like. We have new pieces to replace here, so we are going to replace all the transmission pieces here. So we have a new shift fork. It all came in the kit. Right here. We got a new one of those there, and then there are my bolts. So I guess you know what? I'll have you take those bolts out, okay? Take those bolts out, and then we just need those bolts to put on our new clutch, and then we're just going to use that flywheel over there. All right, Dawson, so what did we just learn, dude? We just learned that if you don't have the tool, you sometimes got to make the tool, right? Mm-hmm. So what did we do here? So I didn't have a clutch centering tool. I don't know if it didn't come in the kit or if it doesn't come with one, but we improvised here. So what we came up with, don't put that in your mouth, ew. That's disgusting.
I want to hold it.
Hold on, buddy boy. All right, you want to hold it? Mm-hmm. Show what I'm doing. All right, so what we did is we took a 10mm socket here, wrapped it in just blue tape, and then put that part on this side of the flywheel here. All right, now with the tape here, we put it on the end of the socket here, and then just put our clutch on the end there, and it fits nice and snug. And that's nice and centered on there. So all we have to do is we just have to get our bolts here. I think we're sitting on them. All right, so over here, Just take our bolts, and I'm going to use a little bit of Loctite on these bad boys. This way the bolts don't feel like coming out, right? That would be a bad thing, wouldn't it?
Why'd you put that on it?
So what that does...
Why'd you do it?
So that stuff's called Loctite. And what it does is it keeps the bolt nice and tight, and it won't back out. Because this little blue stuff on here will turn from a liquid to a solid and get real hard and keep the bolt from backing out. Because that's not what you want to have happen on this.
Hey Dad, what is that stuff on there, on those bolts?
That is called Loctite.
Loctite.
Yep.
Why won't that fit?
Just need to make sure that this is all lined up. Try one more. Oh, is that on my hair?
I was looking close to your hair to let them see your hair.
I don't think people want to see my hair, but okay. There we go. One bolt started. There we go.
I'm trying to air from this.
Well, I think that's vacuum. I don't think that's air. All right.
Those bad boys.
This one here's got some compression. Another engine did not spin. Another engine spun over a little bit easier than this one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we got those in, dude.
I'm letting them see the bolt inside the 10 millimeter.
Want to tighten them up? Alright, so all you gotta do is use your little
Lighter.
here. You're gonna tighten them up in a crisscross pattern. So you're gonna go side by side here. Or you're gonna go across from itself. Now, you don't have to hold that out of the way, dude. Just tighten her up. There we go.
Tighten her up. Tighten him up.
Tighten the bolt up. Alright, so Dawson's going to tighten all these suckers up, and we're going to have this clutch on, and should be able to put the transmission back on. I think we'll get done before you have to go to bed. What do you think? Alright, keep going, dude. Alrighty, my little buddy, little helper, he was getting a little bit tired there toward the end, and he just went back in. He's probably sleeping by now. So progress report so far. Old engine is transmissionless. I still need to take the wiring harness off of this engine because I just thought they only cut a couple wires on here, but they actually cut a few more wires than I'm comfortable with, you know, trying to patch up. I know this wiring harness is complete. It's good, so I'm just going to swap the harness to the new engine. And transmission went on. It did give me a little bit of a struggle on the dowel pins on there. I don't know why, but the one front dowel pin there, or rear dowel pin, however you're looking at the engine, man, that thing was a struggle to get on, but it's on there now. Everything bolted up really well. Clutch seemed to go on without too much of an issue there. So now I know I have a nice brand new clutch. And this engine in here, this exhaust looks nice and clean, and they had run this engine before they pulled it, so it's nice to see that the exhaust is nice and clean in there. And yeah, everything looks good on this engine so far. I did hear a sound clip of it running. It does sound good. Some oil had leaked out of it. It was a little bit on the darker side, but there was, again, nothing in it, so I feel pretty confident that this engine should be good to go. So some nights you get a lot done, other nights feels like you're struggling. I did get the clutch in. We did get the transmission swapped over, so that's what I wanted to get done tonight. So I'm thrilled that I got that done, but this project's moving right along. Do have a thermostat and a water pump on order, so once those get here, then I'll be able to tackle that job on the engine there. I'm not going to mess with the timing chains on this, or timing chain, I guess there's only one. I'm not going to mess with that on this engine here. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Like I said, I heard it running, it sounds good. But I am going to throw a fresh set of spark plugs in there, and I'm going to do all the maintenance items that I can do to this engine before I put it back in the car. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you stuck it out this far in the video, awesome. I appreciate your guys' support. But we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to go clean up. I got a little dirty today, so I got to go wash up. And yeah, we'll get back at it another night. So hopefully we can get right back on it tomorrow night and get this thing to the point where, you know, we're ready to get this thing in the car. So we'll see you in the next one, guys. I'm Matt. This is MotoWorks.